bringing you another series we've been working on this week, dealing with the state of all the position groups. And actually, we're going to be dealing with one of the position groups that's, to me, the strongest position group. Sorry, y'all, I had a car accident, so that kind of put me behind, but I'm back. I feel okay. I think, but hey, sometimes you got to just push through. And I'm definitely going to be pushing through because this is something that this is all about preparing us for what's to come. And it's a lot that's coming with this game that's coming up with San Fran. And since we're dealing with the D-line group, we will also be able to kind of talk about, Bosa and his chirping. So we go first kind of start with that because that's kind of a big deal, which kind of talks about the state of the trenches, because everybody always say, we always hear this, games are won and lost in the trenches. So obviously this is going to be the subject of discussion that should get the attention that it's due, right? Our defensive line, right? Versus even their defensive line. It's just what it is. We got to attack this. We got to really just meet this with force. But keep in mind, all these videos have been pretty short. We go keep that way because we definitely want y'all to be able to go through this content just at your leisure. That's the goal. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want you to be able to go through this content at your leisure where you able to just digest this just whenever, So we not going to make this long, but we going to make it effective, and we go kind of get through all this content to where you can have a good, I think, thorough understanding of the threats that we face going into the San Fran and some of our advantages. So we go continue to be all the way honest with everybody about all the dynamics that's going into our matchup versus San Fran and the condition of all the units as we get ready to take these boys on. So like always, y'all give me a second to set up some stuff on the back end and where we can have us a good live show. I'll be right back. Dallas Cowboys Sports, where your voice matters. Yes, indeed. All right, we got everybody built into the show now, so we're finna get it going. Yep, Dallas Cowboys Sports. I'm gonna get right to this content. Hey, give me 1 second. I'm still setting up stuff. Hey, man, this is what you gotta do, man. You always multitasking if you're in this game. It also starts with turning the music down. We don't want to draw y'all out with the music, but yeah, man, I was in a car accident, so it put me behind a little bit. It's obviously I had to handle my personal business and get all that stuff together. Had nice little knot on my head. I don't know if you can see it. I'm rocking a run the ball hat because I'm thinking that's also one of the keys to today. So let me just kind of look at some of these comments real quick before we kind of get into the meat of the show. Hold on real quick. Let me feed in some of the comments, y'all, and then we'll get right into the content. In 1 second. I'm trying to feed in this YouTube. YouTube giving me a little bit of a problem. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay. All right, so I know how I'm gonna get. Let me give me a second. What I'm doing is I'm getting all y'all comments going. So I'm gonna look at y'all through my phone. That's how I'm gonna do it. Then we'll get right into this content. Y'all bear with me. All right, there it is. Okay, so now I'm gonna be able to see y'all comments. All right, let me turn this down. Okay, so I can see. Yeah, my boy say, damn, boss, you okay? Yeah, I'm all right, man. Lady ran a red light, man. You know how that go. You know, she was being careless. And, you know, it showed me how quick, man, you can be taken out of this earth too, bro, because I didn't see it. It was weird, you know what I'm saying? She just came out of nowhere, you know what I mean? And I'm just going about my business and boom! Like, ooh, yeah. So, in a split second, it could have been a lot worse, though. So, I'm good. I'm good, man. Ain't no crying coming from me. But getting into this content, man, you know, I want to first kind of start off with the trench warfare that's going on. We've been hearing some chirping going on from my boy Bosa. And this actually came out as we was doing the show yesterday. We was doing the final word with J Tuck and Rome. It was a fire show, man. Y'all go check that out. I got that on my channel right now. Y'all go definitely check that show out, man. I think that show is definitely underrated. It's doing pretty good numbers. It's growing pretty quick. But it's one of those things to where it came out. My boy Big Game James posted it on his page about Bosa with his chirping. And he doing some real life chirping. It's disrespectful chirping too. But it's the type of chirping that you do when you're confident. Like, and I'm going to kind of make a case for that because let me kind of go to it real quick. So as I look at, you know, my boy Twitter, see Big Game James posted it yesterday. His actual, what Bosa was talking about. And Bosa said, San Francisco 49ers star Nick Bosa isn't intimidated by the Dallas Cowboys offensive line tackles Tyron Smith and La'el Collins, who are both tasked with stopping him on wild card weekend. I think they're both very solid players. I mean, he quoting this game week. He quoting this. This is game week. He said, I think they're both very solid players. Bosa told reporters Thursday. Obviously, Tyron's had a Hall of Fame career. I think, but they're definitely beatable. There's tape on them getting beat, and we're trying to do the same. They've definitely been in and out of the lineup a lot this year and the past year, so game plan is to make them work. And so, you know, and that's why I said on my Twitter, I said Muhammad Ali used to do that. Like, he would tell you straight up, I'm going to drop you in 6 rounds. See, when you physically ready, you know your opponents, you can size them up and know, hey, man, well, I ain't got no reason to fear you. I'm just better than you. That's basically what he's saying in a nutshell. He's saying, listen, I'm better than you. I'm finna come at you, boys. He basically calling Tyron Smith over the hill. So that's why I said he telling both the tackles, I'm getting ready to beat y'all. Hey, Kelly, and this is what I really believe we need to do. And I'm getting ready to get into this content. But we need to start the game. I'm not lying. We need to start the game. I'm not lying. Coming right at him. I would line up, if I was Kellen, I would line up with 6 linemen. I would put Steele and La'el both together at the same time. That's what I would do. And I would run right at him. At least in the first series, I would go right at him because it's a psychological effect. This guy is the leader of their defense. This guy has an ego, as he should, because he earned it. When you a good player, you can talk your talk. But one of the best things, if we trying to set the tone, especially how the media been calling us soft, they've been calling us soft so much to where they actually think that they can actually chirp in the public as if they ain't got nothing to worry about. That's the disrespect in this whole thing. So that's exactly what I would do, and I want to bring that up as we get ready to talk about this content with this defensive line, because that's really what we're dealing with, and I want to stick to that, right? Because see, they just talking about one Bosa, and they got a good front. Nobody go take away their front. Their front is solid, all right? It's a real solid front. But at the same time, let's be honest, their front is not our front. Our front is better, like straight up. Yeah, I can see that knot. It's a little scar right there. It's okay. But yeah, our front is better. So like I said, I've been doing all week until I had that car accident. I've been keeping up with it, with the state of every unit. So we covering right now the state of the D-line room before the playoffs. Because yeah, we talking about little baby brother Bosa, but say it's an army. It's an army of us. We talking about one of him. And yeah, they got some ballers over there, but they ain't got ballers like us, bro. I'm being all the way honest. They ain't got D-line. They should be talking about our D-line, to be all the way honest, because we are that good. So first, I want to start with who deserves a mountain of credit. Yeah, I see Keystone. Let me show this comment real quick, man, because I think it's a fire comment. I like what he's talking about. He said, keep him from walking that talk. Exactly. That's why we got to go right at him, Keystone. Yeah, see, because you can't make him look like he was right early. You can't, Key, and everybody else that's listening. You can't make him even feel that he was right early with any kind of momentum. Because remember, that's what we did to the Pittsburgh Steelers when we played them in the Super Bowl. The first thing we did is we went right at Lloyd with Nate Newton. That's the first thing we did. We pulled Nate Newton and went right at their best player. And see, if you know the history of sports, this happens in a lot of sports. Detroit used to do that with Lambeer. Lambeer was assigned always to take out the best player of the opponent. Always. So if it was MJ, he was assigned to go right at MJ. Be physical with him, be mean to him, get in his head. If it was Larry Bird, that's what his job was. Because there was a psychological effect when you go at the best guy. But I don't want to get too caught up in that, because you know we getting ready to play them. Everybody know what's up. I'm here to talk about our guys. But I want to just start with that chirping bullshit that's happening right now. Because if that don't have us super motivated, man, we just soft. That's the only thing I can say. If we shouldn't need no pom-poms for this game, bro. All this, so it's first, I'm just getting excited even thinking about this. First of all, it's the stakes of this game. It's the rivalry of this game. Bro, everybody should be ready to break an arm. This is a dream football game. For anybody that dreamed of playing football their whole life, this is the game that you dream about. San Fran versus Dallas. San Fran versus, that's a historical game. It's so many historical moments in this game. But going back to the meat of our team, it starts with this guy. Yeah, Aiden Dirty. And see, Aiden Dirty, I ain't gonna lie, I was sleeping on Aiden. He was one of the guys in all season when we talked about the effect of these coaches. He was the guy that I said I had the biggest reservations on, because he only coached the linebackers for Atlanta 1 year. So he was obviously a very green coach, but obviously they had some faith in him, similar to kind of like a Kellen Moore, where they saw something about him. They saw, I guess, a passion, a student in the game, a guy with a knack to teach or something, where they took the chance. And this was a big chance, y'all. Don't think this was little what they did. This was big what they did, because remember, we was ranked 31st in pass rush. We was ranked 31st in pass rush, and being ranked that bad, we said we go put a new guy in charge. I didn't like that. I'm being honest. I was like, this guy have never coached defensive line, and we was ranked at the bottom, and you trusted him to come in here and fix it. But let's be honest, he did. He did a damn good job. First of all, he did a good job losing Tank. You lose Tank, right? And then you got to figure out a way to get this defensive line going without your best defensive player. So obviously they make the move to Micah Parsons to go to the edge, right? Which makes an exponential difference, right? And we just go crazy. But it wasn't even just that. It was the fact that he had to go in there and have people like Bosa, right? Play way above a rookie status. We can say in the first 6 games, Bosa was looking like a year 3 player. He was looking like a super freak. And then he also had Chauncey Golston as a debut come out super cold and making it happen. So he was not dealt a good hand. Aiden Dirty was not given a good hand at all. Because some people say, oh, it was the talent. No, he didn't start with this talent. Remember, he lost Neville Gallimore out the gate. had a real bad hand. Who remember laughing at Carlos Watkins in the offseason? I do. I'm gonna raise my hand. I definitely laughed at him. I laughed at the talent level. I literally said, I have this recorded. I said that dude was stealing money from the Texans. It was only one good thing that I saw about his tape from the Texans. He was not being moved at the point of attack. That was it. Other than that, I like nothing about his game. And we can all say Carlos Watkins looked, as he was coming in, like he was going to be a camp body. And he's way more than a camp body. He's been playing real good to be a guy that's there for depth. And then you also have Armstrong, right? Like Armstrong has been having a good year to be a depth player. So is Terrell Basham. So when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and you look at the defensive line room, I'm going to be honest with you. This room is the key to the Super Bowl run. Like everybody talking about, and it's trending right now. Everybody talking about Bosa. Yeah, I get it. It's gonna get y'all some clicks. It's gonna get y'all, a lot of views that you're trying to get. But they not talking about how fresh our defensive line is. Like Tank Nim coming on late. He got that lean jawline. Man, that boy took care of his body. He took care of his body, and he came back ready. Then you also have, and they load manage these guys. They literally said that Mike McCarthy said this week that he had Neville Gallimore on a pitch count. There's no more pitch count. This is the playoffs. Then you got Randy Gregory, Then obviously you got Micah Parsons. You can put all them guys together in the 4-3 under and let them get after it. And then obviously with the depth, we gonna be able to keep that rotation going. So I'm gonna tell you right now, the key to this game, I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. I'm gonna just keep it all the way real with y'all, man. I'm not giving no lies. I'm giving you all the way true. The whole key to this game is gonna be on two people. And I'm talking, really three. Really three. Oh, let me just keep it real. 4. The key to this game is on 4 people. Number 1, Neville Gallimore. Neville Gallimore task is going to be to make it hard on first and second down. He's going to be the key. He needs to be the guy that's extremely physical and unmovable at the point, because that got to help our linebackers. Because San Fran will commit to the run if you look like you struggling with the run. So out the gate, we got to show them that it ain't going to be no running on us today. It's going to start with him. Second, and it should be obvious, Mr. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is the other key to this game. See, because a lot of people, we debated this all season until it became even clear where his best value is, right? And most people say his best value is as a pass rusher, right? And I get that. But then as we watched the whole season, and we really just watched it, it was certain games to where as a chess piece, you needed to get the max out of him at linebacker. One of those games was the Minnesota game, which is similar to the San Francisco 49ers, where they're going to commit to the run. You know it. So just like Minnesota, we knew they was going to commit to the run. So in that particular game, pass rushing wasn't really ideal for what we needed, especially with a suspect linebacker room. And we already went through that when I went through the videos of the state of the linebacker room. So I already went through that, right? But so you got to line up. I'm being all the way honest. You got to line this man up at linebacker. And on first and second down, his main job is to stop these boys from running the ball. Then what you want to do, in my opinion, is you want to then get Jimmy Garoppolo on 3rd and long. If you can get Jimmy Garoppolo on 3rd and long, then you can open up Micah Parsons with the other guys like Tank and Randy Gregory to the pressure that, honestly, we also know, let's be honest, Jimmy G struggles with pressure. But we first got to stop the run. That's why I'm telling y'all, it starts with, number one, Neville Gallimore. And behind him, cleaning it all up, Micah Parsons. Them are the main two guys that's going to set the tone of our whole defense, of the entire defense. It's those guys that's going to be the winners and losers of this game. Then obviously we need Carlos Watkins to be supplemental, and very good supplemental. Then we also need Tristan Hill, who's fresh though. See, he's fresh. See, and remember when we lost to the Rams in 2018, it was more so because we was banged up. We was real banged up. So it's one of those things to where we not banged up. We going into the playoffs almost like we going into game one with this front, with this defensive front. That's exactly what's going on. And we have never been this fresh. So, and I said it was 4 things that's going to determine the outcome of this game. One of them is going to be, honestly, how we handle Bosa, since we're talking about defensive line, because we got him getting ready to go against Lyle Collins. The 4th person is Lyle Collins. That's the 4th person. How Lyle Collins match up against Bosa is going to tell us everything. Because a lot of people, we always say the game is won in the trenches, but we ignore the trenches. With nobody really talking about the key matchups in the trenches. Nobody really talking about that. Do we really believe it? Because if the game is won in the trenches, then the plan to limit or stop Bosa is extremely important. Because see, we all know this. We all do know this. Just keeping it 100. We do know that that they subject. We do know that the San Francisco 49ers they subject to be thrown on. Like, you can throw on them boys. Okay. So, and when you watch their film, what you see is they don't do a bunch of complicated looks like Arizona did. They lining up in their defense, which makes it easy on Dak to read them, react, as well as the receivers. But if you really want to be able to attack them through the air, you have to be able to protect Dak. So it's going to be very interesting to see how do we handle that matchup, right? Bosa versus Lyle versus Bosa versus Tyron Smith. Are we going to help Lyle? Because I think you got to be all the way honest. I think you got to help. You just got to do what you got to do right there. You got to help them. Because if you don't help them, you putting us in a very risky place. Just being all the way honest. It's a very risky place because pass rush in the trenches can actually turn the game on its head. Being all the way honest. So I'm gonna say this as we talk about the trenches, because we're talking about the defensive line. We're talking about our guys, and obviously we're talking about Bosa as well, right? So going back to Twitter, right? Honestly, because I said this, I got laughed at about this too. When I first said what I said about Nick Bosa, they laughed at me. I mean, a lot of people, even people on the fan jumped on my Twitter. Oh, run at Bosa? Oh, you must be crazy. You better run at Bosa. And it worked. Remember that. It worked when we ran that Joey, right? But people really laughed at that. I said, oh, let me click on it so you can see the tweet. So I was showing the get off of Bosa. Okay, when you look at that get off, he had the fastest get off. And remember, that's when he was getting ready to go against Steele, right? And I was like, ooh, man. And remember, nobody, Steele didn't have a good preseason, right? So people faked was bad on him, as they should have been. right? That was the days, remember, they were talking about moving Zach Martin and all that kind of stuff to right tackle because they was concerned about Steele. That's legit. That was legit, especially like, bro, Laia just got suspended. You getting ready to go against a dude with one of the best get-offs, period. His first step was crazy good. And I was like, and I watched the film, and I was like, as I was watching Bosa go against the Washington football team, I just noticed, I said, the more they ran at him, the least his pass rush was effective because it looked like he started tiring out. And I started noticing that he was loafing a lot. Like Bosas would get after you when they know it's pass. But if you can show pass and run, yeah, you go get a different type of brothers in them Bosa bars. Just being all the way honest. And when I looked at that get off, I tweeted this. I said exactly why we should not try anywhere close to how we did versus Tampa. We shouldn't try to throw like we did because remember, we went crazy throwing the ball versus Tampa. And everybody was like, Kellen Moore was genius. He just basically took what the defense gave him. Well, we know San Fran, let's be honest, we know they can give us the pass. But you can be compromising if you start passing so much that you get Bosa's in a rhythm. You don't want to get Bosa in a rhythm. What you want to do, in my opinion, is you want to run right at them balls first. And this is what I said. I said same plan against the baby brother Bosa as the big bro. Now, people ain't laughing no more. I got laughed at then. Listen, I had 30,000 people view my video on why we should run at Bosa. Most of them trolling me until we whooped his ass by running at him. Then I went right back to them people on Twitter and I tore their ass apart. I tore them apart. I was like, yeah, I guess I wasn't just talking, wasn't it? You know what I mean? And see, and I was laughed at for saying run right at big bro Bosa. I was with Steele. But it's the same strategy we should do with Lael. You got to take pressure off those tackles. The best way to take pressure off those tackles is you got to get the whooping on Bosa. You got to get to slapping on Bosa, leaning on Bosa. Let those guys do what they do best. Offensive linemen don't want to be dancing bears. Only people that watch football think that they're comfortable in pass rush. Those guys don't like to dance. They like to fight. They like to get out the bars. They like to lay on bars. They like to bully and push bars. So if you want to really limit Bosa and win in the trenches, I really mean this, especially with Bosa chirping. The first thing we should do, and I mean this, I swear to God, I hope to God Kellen Moore lines up with 6 offensive linemen. I swear to God, I'm not playing, I'm dead serious. Line up with 6 offensive linemen out the gate and go right at that dude. Nothing but physical play. I don't care if you 3 and out. In this first 3 and out, we ain't gonna get this first down, but we go send a message. We go send a message. It's gonna be a long day for you, Bosa. This gonna be a long day for you. So anyway, I want to make sure that I got through this content because I'm going through all the positions, right? So I got one more to go, and that's the receivers, and rightly so because I was waiting on some film. So I put all of this in the description too. I got the state of the running backs before we go into playoffs, which is interesting. I also went through the state of the quarterbacks. That's very interesting. Our biggest question marks is honestly on that offensive line. See, people don't want to tell the truth about that, but I'm going to tell you the truth. See, people trying to dance around that like we don't got no issues. We got some issues, and we have some issues with people that we seem to trust the most. We starting to see a tick up of penalties from Connor Williams. Yes, we are. I know a lot of people want to coddle him, but we starting to see that. Yes, he plays good. Yes, he's been good against the run, but we starting to see that. Let's be honest, we are seeing that. We also seeing, let's be honest, Tyron Smith is not gelling like he usually is. And he's starting to look like he's starting to get a little long in the tooth. Bosa wasn't lying when he talked about that film. He wasn't lying. He was like, the film is showing that them dudes is vulnerable. See, when I say that, people, Boss, you hating. Boss, you got a favorite. You just like Steel. Now shut up. Shut up. I want to win. And so I'm going to say what I think will help us win. That's our most vulnerable group. But I went through that, and there's ways to help them, right? So play calling can help them. The way that you design your plays, the way that you set the tone. It's a lot of ways you can help them, right? So, and I go through that, and it's not a long video. And then obviously, I think one of the major keys to our whole offense is how we handle our tight ends. And I also went through that as well. We got us another, all of these videos I have in the description too. All of these videos in the description. So you'll be able to go through all these short videos to catch you up on the state of the cornerback room, the tight end room, then the safety room, and then obviously we're not talking about the defensive line. So basically, yeah, this is Boss Cowboy with Boss Cowboy Sports, man. We just going through all the contents in ways that, you know, we're prepared to go into this playoffs. And we are prepared. We are very prepared. We are and should be favored, more so because we fresh. We fresh. We didn't have no bye games that can make us rusty. You know, that Philadelphia game was a good tune-up. It was a good tune-up. It was a good way to make sure that we had good chemistry, like that we had a flow going, and we do. So don't fall for this, because listen, y'all, a lot of y'all been listening to the media, and I've been seeing it on Twitter, I've been seeing it on Facebook. A lot of people feeling so disrespected by the media. Listen, y'all, they go do that. They go do that. They got to make money. So the best way to make money is to manufacture controversy, you know. But when it comes down to how we really line up, we lined up way more, just way superior than San Fran. I'm going to be honest, I won't be surprised if we blow these boys out. Y'all hear me? I won't be surprised. It's going to be, if we stop the run early and convincingly and Jimmy G got to throw, it's going to be a blowout. And we going to blow them out. Bro, they called us soft. You never call a grown man soft. You never call a grown man soft. Not in this game. And then you come out chirping. We got so much motivation to come out there, man, to just really dog these boys. I think we getting ready to do that too. Because I don't really even think it's that hard to stop San Fran. You got to concentrate on Debo. I think we got answers for that. I think you can, when Debo playing outside, I think you just line up Diggs to him and live with whatever happened. Kittle, match that up with Curse, right? And just live with whatever happened. Both of our defensive players on that matchup is good enough to limit those guys. You never go stop talent that good. But you go be able to take an A player and make him into a B player. And a lot of times if you can make an A player to a B player, that's enough to win a game.
Yoga fire!
Yeah. So, man, that's Boss Cowboy Sports, man. I wanted to get into this content. I got one more video going on our position groups, and then I'm going to sum up everything before the playoffs and put all of this content together. So, anyway, man, y'all stay up, man. I'm going to continue to just deliver this. Y'all keep y'all notifications on. And remember, I have all the videos in the description, so y'all go check that out. So if you like this content, I always say one of the best things that you can do, and the first thing you should do with all the platforms, is hit that like and then hit that subscribe. That's the first thing you should always do when you come in the door, because then that's gonna make this content recommended. That's one. And then obviously we got a lot of people that's coming in on Facebook right now. And with the Facebooks, it's the same thing. You got to work the algorithms. You got to hit that like, because then what it's going to do is going to make us more recommended. And then always, it's people that donate into the Cash App, and keep doing that, because this stuff ain't free. It's actually very expensive. Even when I had to get the phones back on, you know, I had to pay for that. Like, that wasn't free. You know what I'm saying? So everything helps as we continue to put out this content for Boss Cowboy Sports and ideas that's going to help the Dallas Cowboys. But y'all stay up and make sure y'all click through those links in the description as well on any group that you want to kind of get the last minute notes on them. So it's all in there. And by the end of today, we're going to have all the groups covered, and we're going to be able to give a full analysis before we get into the playoffs. But this is Boss with Boss Cowboys Sports. Y'all stay up because your voice definitely matter. Peace.
Boss Cowboys Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboys Sports.
Shout out Sean.